As lights go down, the MC calls my name. The crowd roars as I step on the stage. These are such things in my life could fill a book. I wish this could be the last page. Drinkers, gamblers, midnight ramblers are the center of my way of life. I stand here playing and singing my songs, missing my kids and my wife. When I think of my kids who I starve for a dad, and my woman who gets by all alone, I'd trade my success for your way of life and be content to spend my life at home. A troubadour's ways are hard on a wife, and I know that you've made certain plans. I'd give all I own for your way of life, but I can't, I'm in love with my plans. Drinkers, gamblers, midnight ramblers are the center of my way of life. I stand here playing and singing my songs, missing my kids and my wife. Missing my kids and my wife.
Ja, okay. Raj, I just pressed. We're winging her today, folks. Welcome. Episode number 30. Raj is up there trying to fix one of those mops, or what do they call it? Like, it's like a mop that you press the button and it sprays, like the whiffer thing. Spring is missing. We can't figure it out. So, okay, that song that you just heard, I was driving around the square in Newcastle today. That's called The Troubadour by the one and only Jimmy Lawler on the vocals and guitar. Eugene Summers was on the keyboards, guitar, bass, and snare drum. So right on, guys. And if you listen to the vocals on that one, a little bit sad. I liked it. A little bit of housekeeping here, Raj. So we're before Raj is getting ready, we just opened up the tray here. A couple of episodes ago, I was driving around and I had Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash singing "You Are My Sunshine," and I tried to upload it onto YouTube and it got blocked. I tried to shorten it up and just give a snippet of it. They blocked it like 3 times, so I had to delete that. I mentioned that the song played, so that was a mistake. The Miramichi paper, yes, it was called the Miramichi Free Press. We talk about a moose, and I was like, is that the largest land mammal in North America? No, in fact, it is the bison. I also mentioned the Frank Wilson, the hockey player in high school. He dominated the year. And I was like, who does he remind me of as a player? The little I saw of him, well, I thought to myself, and that player was Joe Nieuwendyk. He was kind of in my opinion, a Joe Nieuwendyk kind of guy. I forget who we were talking about, a golfer formerly of the Miramichi in Bathurst or something. I said he was Greg Morris's old college roommate, but sorry, that is Greg Malone's old college roommate. And the Packers, the Hardy or the Allen Cup? I think they won the Hardy Cup, or was it the Allen Cup? I still have to look into that. I showed an ad of Siddles, and we says it's still open. We said yes. Anyhow, it's different named. I think it's in the same location on the Newcastle Town Square. And I showed a photo of Big Brother's Bowl for Millions, and it was Walter O'Toole. And I'm unsure. I said I think it's Jamie's father. He told me his father's name, and I can't remember, and I'm not sure about that. So that's a couple of corrections. Roger Cummo, the local historian, had pulled out a tray that is really, really loaded with stuff. It looks like, when I picked it up, Raj, just a couple of minutes ago, I said this feels like 6 hours worth. We are doing the year 2000. The local historian, Roger Cummo, we're in his basement. He has documented decades and decades and decades and decades and decades of local history, mostly out of the Miramichi local papers, the Miramichi Leader and the Press, Miramichi Press. But you know, there's some times in transcript. It's the surrounding area. It's what was of interest to Raj. He's done it in a very consistent way for many years. It deserves a lot of credit. So I'm his nephew, and my name's Jamie, and I'm here. I'm visiting from Vancouver. I'm from the Miramichi, obviously. My father is Roger's brother, and he passed away in February, so I was home a couple of months before that happened, and now it's a couple of months after that happened, and we decided to do this little project, a community building. We're trying to do it in a positive way. We're having fun. It's intergenerational, and that's why we're doing it. Those are the only reasons. So it's I do get some compliments when I'm around town of certain people that are watching Raj, and that's what matters. So we're connecting with his son in Toronto, my nephew in Boston are watching, and my friends and stuff like that. and whoever else kind of hopefully appreciates what we're doing. So we're not proclaiming to be experts. We don't need to be told this, that, or the other. We're here to have some fun, and hopefully everybody takes it as that and appreciates a little dive back into the community of our mighty, mystical, magical Miramichi, and we're trying to show how times were different and how people are so capable here, and the great things that have been going on in the community. And there's my little spiel. See how I'm able to ad-lib there, as I know Roger's still looking and organizing things. He's still organizing. He wants to, like, just,
Wow.
he needs 8 days a week. That's what he needs.
Well, I think we'll let them know that we're going to start off the new century.
The new century, yep. The year 2000, Raj.
Year 2000. And the beginning of that year is way down the bottom of the box. So we're going to be working.
Oh, I see. We're going to be going backwards.
Yeah.
Right.
We'd have to upend it upside down
Okay.
and do it that way.
Yeah. Well, we're doing it we're going to just sit here and go through your collection, and we're, like, we are honestly skimming the surface. There's so many things that this man has. I was just actually in his crawl space yesterday looking for a painting from one of our sponsors, Roger's daughter Amanda, and I was looking at boxes. I was like, oh my God, there's more stuff in there. It's just, it's unending. And but it's not. Here's the thing. It's organized. It's filed away. It's not hoarding. This man is not a hoarder. Like, regardless of what you may have heard, it is a beautiful collection. It deserves a lot of credit, Raj, and this is why we're doing this. We're giving it its due. So, is this what we're starting with?
Well, I thought it would be a good idea. There was a popular band known as the Reunion Band.
Okay.
So there's a variety of
Acts or
bands in here,
Okay.
and they all
This is from 2000.
parts of different guys of the band.
Oh, right on.
Get together to make a big group or
Oh,
whatever.
cool. So this is, like, by the way, the year 2000 was almost a quarter of a century ago. It's 24 years ago. So it's like, it seems like yesterday, but wow, here we are in 2024, and oh, how times have changed, because in 2000, the smartphone was not happening. And, that has been a game changer in our society. So this is a pamphlet it says, oh, sorry for the glare, everybody. Oh, we got this is a glossy one. There it is. Downtown Miramichi Rock and Roll Weekend Festival proudly presents Homecoming 2000 Dance with the Reunion 2000. The doors open at 9. The dancing starts from 10 to 1. This was on July 7th, 2000 at the Miramichi Civic Center. And who was taking part in this? Well, there's going to be a little bit of a glare. Okay, I'm going to read them out first, and I'll show you some photos. We got the Hounds. They were from 1958. The Arrows. Rene and the Aces. From a 1960 Harkins High School photo. The Silvertones. 1962. Are you recognizing any of these bands?
Oh yeah, just
These are your dancing years?
Get up a little further.
Mo 5. From another Harkins High School gym. The Spartans from 1962. The Esquires. These were all Miramichi bands. The Torquays from 64. The Saints. And welcome to the band of the 80s, another reunion. So here's some photos of that event. I hope there's not a glare. Okay, these are some old bands that were playing in the Miramichi. Looks like mostly the 60s. This is when rock and roll was coming into fruition, thanks to Elvis and Ike Turner and all of the whole 1950s scene. So right on. And you know what, Raj? When I was in Clarksdale, Mississippi in October, I went to a hotel that it has history there. It's an amazing little historical place. That's where the blacks had to stay during some civil rights times. You know, this whole Clarksdale is a whole musical history place. And that hotel housed everybody you could think of, from Muddy Waters to Sam Cooke. Everybody that was coming through stayed in this hotel. They're trying to restore it. Actually, a Canadian guy is helping a family restore it. And that hotel claims to be the place where the first rock and roll song was ever written by Ike Turner. And you know what? I cannot remember the name of that song. So that'll be somebody that's going to have to correct me out on the old town. Okay, so we're starting there. And Roger is going to just start...
Well, we're going to deal with the early departure of the ice in the river. So when you look at all the years here,
Yep.
I'm only finding March the 31st in 3 different places.
Oh.
Everything else is April.
Okay. Did you... Are we able to put a date on what happened out there?
Middle of March.
The middle of March.
Yeah.
Okay.
15, 16, 17, around
Okay,
there.
so this is happenstance right here. The March thaw leads to speculation ice may leave river early this year. This was written by Joanne Cadogan. So she went back, and this is from 2000, and there's a list of all of the dates of when the ice left the river. And everybody that was paying attention on the old Miramichi this year knows that it was an early thaw. You know what? The early thaw was almost spoken about more than the eclipse, but not quite. So Raj went through and he says like most of this is April, and he sees a couple of March dates. March 31st is the earliest. March 31st, wow. There's a couple of March 31st. Everything else is April, and a lot of them are late April. 1940, it was April 26. Wow. 1867, it was April 28th. So, you know,
That's way over a month.
That's that's a month and a half.
Cold winter
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, and we had a like I say, this was one of the earliest that anybody can ever think of.
Okay, we got a little controversy here when they talk about baseballs that are
Okay.
being juiced up there.
Oh yeah.
We read that.
Okay.
Read that. We should be able to get enough out of that.
Okay. Amid rumors of juiced balls, so this was the era of the home run, like not only the juice balls, but everybody was juicing. Being responsible for increase in Major League homers, Rawlings Factory reveals secrets of making a Major League Baseball. And there is a young factory worker at the Rawlings Factory. I think Rawlins is in Missouri. Is it near St. Louis? I could be wrong about that. Maybe Illinois, something like that. And there it is. Times have changed. Jeffrey Alfaro hand stitches the leather cover on a baseball at the Rawlings Baseball Factory in Turabalta, Costa Rica yesterday. But I think Rawlins does come, it's definitely an American company. This is just where a factory is. With home runs and juice ball claims on the rise, it was a perfect time for a field trip to a baseball factory. A day after a record 6 grand slams and 56 home runs were hit in the majors, a van full of baseball executives showed up at the Rawlings Factory Monday for a previously scheduled look at how big league baseballs are made. You know, and here's another thing about the old. There's a you know, a famous story. It's called "The Emperor Has No Clothes." So the emperor, all of a sudden, if he's naked, everybody was afraid to say he's naked until you get a little kid that just doesn't care. He's like, "Look, he has no clothes on." This is another "Emperor Has No Clothes" story. They're talking about juice baseballs. That may have been the case, but all you had to do is look at the body changes in those players at that time, and it was kind of obvious what was happening.
Okay, we're going to go from baseball to golf.
Okie doke.
Athlete there on the river.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, Miramichi Gagnall Packer fans are going to remember who this smiling chap is. He's holding some golf balls in one hand. That is Eddie Pinder. He owns the record. Eddie Pinder holds up 8 golf balls to signify the 8 birdies he had on August 10th to break the Miramichi Golf and Country Club course record with a 64 on August 18th. The day this picture was taken, Pinder's luck continued as he just missed a birdie on 18, but still shot a 2 under, par 70. There he is, folks. Course record. And what they didn't say was that he was with 3 of his best friends. So, you know, we're talking about an old fishing tale here, folks. I'm just joking. Congratulations, Eddie. It would have been a good day.
All right, now, anybody that went to Newfoundland would have seen this tower, so there's some history behind that tower.
Okay, the Cabot Tower, most significant book, has tower leading the list of recognizable Canadian landmarks. This right here, folks, I'll read that caption. It says, according to the latest edition of the Canadian Book of Lists, Cabot Tower in St. John's, Newfoundland is the most significant man-made Canadian landmark of the 20th century. And you know what? St. John's, Newfoundland, if you have never been there, oh, we got glare today. If you have never been there, is a highly recommendable destination. It is a great spot.
Okay, we're going to recognize one of our own members of the Logieville.
John Bracken receives Lions Award. John Bracken receives Lions Award. John Bracken's a Logieviller. He was your colleague, eh? You worked with him at the old pulp mill?
Oh, yeah. We traveled together at times.
Travel up there. Did you guys ever stop for coffee, or did you bring your own? Never stopping, eh?
Just in a hurry to get home.
Okay. During the 35th anniversary celebrations of the Newcastle Lions Club, one of the club members was awarded a Melvin Jones Fellowship. The lion honored was John Bracken. He joined the Chatham's Lion Club in November 72 and transferred to the Newcastle Club in 1986. He has held several offices, both at the club and district level. As well, he has served on numerous committees during the many years of active service. So congratulations to John Bracken. No, I'm talking about if you guys were traveling together on your way to work in the morning sometimes, you would never stop for a coffee. It was different culture back then. Now...
Oh, you got that when you got in there.
Yeah, you guys had your coffees in there. But I'm having a hard time getting this man right here, this local historian, out for a coffee. He is too busy to even have a cup of coffee. And you know what? My sister Vicky, it's her birthday tomorrow. I was talking to a couple of her friends. We were trying to gather up a group, Raj, to have a little party. And then one of the guys texted me back and he said, "Is the local historian going?" So Roger Como is being requested at parties now, folks.
Now this building was across the street from the mill up in Morrison Hall.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Really old.
Okay, a 175-year-old house set for demolition. This was up across from the old Repap paper mill, folks.
No, the Morrison Cove.
Oh, the Morrissey Cove mill. Oh yeah, sorry, I don't know where this is. I can't recognize it. And it was a piece of Miramichi history is going to be lost. A house that was built 175 years ago by the Morrison family, which was Morrison's Cove, is named... it was to be torn down by Weyerhaeuser Company. Oh, yeah. Maybe I do remember that. Yes, I do.
Surrounded by old trees.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm a guy that, when they tear down houses, I love getting old lumber from that. I take the time to try to, and I just like the look of old wood when I'm doing some finish work and stuff like that.
There's a little bit of interest here in this here ship going to
Germany.
Right on.
Cool. This is a picture. Nazi boat leaves as World War II declared. This right here, folks, what does this say? This is in the Miramichi Leader. There is a photo, and it says, this ship owned by the German company Casco Bay is shown here speeding through the Morrissey Bridge on the way back to Germany on the eve of World War II in 1939. The ship was docked at Birchill's sawmill when war was declared. John Burchill took off for the bridge in time to snap this photo. The Germans on board were yelling, "We will win," and we were shouting back some obscenities at them, said Burchill. Burchill said the company's operator was a hard-line Nazi military supporter as the Nazi flag flying off the bow suggest, well, we should have got a few more Miramichiers, folks, on the banks of the river and pelted rocks at that thing and tried to sink it before it even had a chance to get back.
Well, this the golf course celebrates an anniversary here
Oh, yeah?
on August the 25th.
August 25th, this is to the year 2000, and by the way, once again, 2000 was almost a quarter of a century ago. It's just so crazy. So in 2000, the golf course was 75 years young, and there it is, folks. Lots of great moments were had at the old Miramichi Golf and Country Club, and some of those great moments
Well, they're
are
winding down to 100
100
years.
years, yeah. Next year sounds
Yeah.
like it'll be 100 years, yeah. A popular old game of playing 10 cents to the dollar a hole. Kenny McBride. There's Ken McBride. He was a pro. He was a golf pro. A friendly foursome: Jerry Pincombe, Vince Moore, John Couglin, and Dougie Campbell. What year would that have been? There are those guys, right on. Nothing like going out for a day of golf, a foursome. You got a good group of guys.
Eddie Shack here.
Oh, right on. George Whitty and George Earlham.
Yeah.
Okay, there's George Whitty and George Earlham celebrating the 75th anniversary. We're going to get into, oh wow, turn of the century, Judge William Wilkinson with his family in front of the home around the turn of the century. There's a look at their clothing in that photo. And Roger points out that we have the old Eddie Shack, NHL hockey great. They say great. Like, would you say Eddie Shack's a great? He's like a great, like, personality.
Yeah.
But like a great is somebody that, you know, played in 7 All-Star games and okay, so NHL hockey great Eddie Shack, Kathy Whitty, Vince Moore, and John Couglin. I don't see Eddie Shack.
Right here.
Oh, that's him there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's young.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been... There's Eddie Shack right there, folks. Eddie Shack just couldn't help it. He just kept coming back to the old Miramichi. He must have been being treated really good. Every time he walked into the Hooper, they had a seat ready for him. He'd be walking by Ben's, everything. Oh, look at this. Stu Professor writing David Adam Richards' biography. Right on, that's really cool. I have an appreciation for that writer since I've been home. I've always did, but I've been reading a lot of him, just trying to feel some Miramichi.
Well, we'll take time out here to honor all the police guys here.
Okay.
National Police Day.
Oh, right on, Raj.
So he's the caretaker of the building.
Okay,
Janitor, I should say.
okay. We will mention these names. On May 14th to May 21st, this is 2000, this was National Police Week. And none other than our Miramichi contingent were celebrated here. Look at this, folks. Police officers deserve to be appreciated and respected. I'm not saying it's 100% across the board. There's always going to be, some situations out there, but in general, this is a very, very important and difficult and dangerous job. And so, in the year 2000, we were celebrating on this river right here in our force. Oh, they don't have first names, so my apologies to everybody that I don't know. R. Cronkite,
Yep.
Earl Campbell, Jay Sipes, Sergeant Danny Pugh, D. Britt, Jay White, Donnie Butler?
Yeah.
Donnie Butler, John Foran?
Mm-hmm.
John Foran, Sam Williamson, S. Hare, P. Flander, M. Gallagher, Dewey Gillespie, B. Cummings, E. Daigle, G. Scott, J. Smith, B. Jones, A. Newman, L. Saunders. My apologies, I just don't know these names. I wasn't around. B. Bruce, T. Osmond, B. Dixon, B. Davis.
Yeah. He's a guy that was decorated yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
with
Oh, right.
the thrill of whatever.
Oh, was that him? I'm going to skip this one and go back to it for a second.
Yeah.
Randy Hansen, R. McLaughlin, D. Carnahan, K. Sturgeon, T. Sowers, Art McLean, R. Doucette, E. Arbo, L. Matchett, D. Hicks, T. Porter, L. Murdy, T. Chatwick. I think he's in charge of the Calico Coffee, or his daughters are. J. White, L. Grant, A. Paul, D. Burchill, and S. Dunfield. And we have the communication division of J. Campbell, E. Cox, L. Cummo, G. Garish, L. Lynch, C. McWilliams, H. Walker Brewster, J. Young, B. Merritt, Ken McGee, M. Campbell, and Joe Ross was a staff support. So if you're ever over on the old TNR Sports location, this gentleman right here, his daughters are operating that. He has a hand in it. I'm over there having coffee and seeing it. And the person I skipped was this fine gent right here, Charlie Barter. I see him at the gym most mornings. He is of the most friendliest kind, and he is exercising in the mornings, Raj. It's a good vibe over there. I've been lucky enough to just hang out with kind of like a senior crowd in the morning sometimes.
Okay, we're going to get rid of these magazines here.
Yeah.
That's Funny National Park.
Okay.
We don't go through it.
Okay, so this is just like it's probably from the Times and Transcript.
Yeah.
It was just like a special feature, but it was just celebrating the 50th anniversary of Fundy National Park was in the year 2000. And I'll tell you what, whoever has never been there, it has an amazing golf course. It obviously is famous for the highest tides in the world, but there's hiking trails, there's camping. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. You don't have to go too far from where you live right now to go into world-class nature and beauty. People from all over the world go to that park. And I've never camped at it, but this man right here, he has camped twice. He has square danced twice in campgrounds that I haven't even heard of.
Well, here's a magazine here that has 125 pages.
Oh wow.
And Moncton.
Oh wow.
Moncton Transcript.
Yeah, the Times Transcript. This was like a special edition. This was included with the, I'm sure you had to buy it extra, but it had Outlook 2000, Our Town, Your Memories of Life in New Brunswick. And this was during the year 2000. So that's really cool. That'd be a really interesting thing, actually, Raj, to go in. So it just shows prominent stories from over the years. So right on.
Kind of history, eh?
Yeah.
And Bucktoosh chipped in.
And then another one, also another special edition here. Bucktoosh. Si près? Bucktoosh. So close, it says. And Bucktoosh is also a really, really beautiful part of this world. In the Acadian, on the east coast of New Brunswick. It's not very far from Miramichi. You can get there in 45 minutes. If Roger's driving, you get there in an hour and 20 minutes. If Corey Wishart's driving, you get there in 35 minutes, folks. April 2000, right on. And that's a beautiful, there's so many little beautiful areas of Bucktoosh that I haven't really discovered. So, you know, it's another great day trip destination.
We got two articles here.
Okay.
All the work done by Harold Adams.
Okay, we've mentioned Harold Adams many times before. He's a local historian. He has put in countless hours into these special projects, it seems like. We've covered a few of them before. Here's another one. This is from the Miramichi Weekend, and this is Across the Millennia on the Miramichi by Harold W.J. Adams. And this front cover was designed by Carla Sutherland. It's really great artwork if you really look at those figures that are in the Miramichi letters there, and Across the Millennia on the Miramichi. And look at this beautiful artwork right here. And you know what, Raj? This would also be a really excellent thing to go through in your time. We won't have enough time to do it here, but Harold Adams is I think he's at the Chatham Library sometimes, still doing some projects.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm gonna keep poking in there and see if I can run into him. There's a picture in this book of the Knox United Church in Logieville, New Brunswick. And if you ever have a chance to go into that building, it has a really, really cool interior, especially the ceiling work. It's all wood, and it's really beautiful in there. It has an organ. It has a really old school, massive organ in there. It's really cool.
That's another Harold.
Another Harold Adams from the Miramichi Weekend Across the Millennia. William Abrams, Sarah Abrams, Richard Blackstock. Painting was done by R. Thresher, showing John and Alexander Fraser's shipbuilding at Beaubear Island in 1825. The cover is a painting by what's his name? Sorry, Thresher, from Beaubear Island, the shipbuilding. Look at what was going on in 1825 when the Miramichi was a very, very prominent shipbuilding destination in this world. We have the natural resources to do it. I was just over at the Rankin, the old location where the Rankin House sat. It's called Rankin Park today, and that they were also into the shipbuilding, close to the Seamen's Hospital. So right on, Raj. This is really cool. You have kept all this in mint condition because of the trays that Roger constructed. We showed several times. He made them out of sheet metal. What do you got here?
Grand opening.
Okay, the grand reopening of their new premises, March 21st, 2000. It was an open house from Friday, and Phil Cormier was retiring after 36 years. Free coffee and donuts. What is this going to be? This is over by the hospital. It is Sunny Corner Enterprises. They had a grand reopening with a new location in the year 2000, and I don't know what's going on over there, but it's still there, so it is obviously going strong. So good for you guys.
Okay, we got a promotional thing for people that collect hockey cards.
Okay, so
Flash in the pan there.
you could win with Upper Deck grand prizes with any drink purchase over, this is from McDonald's. Okay, so a McDonald's promotional ad. They were with Upper Deck hockey cards. This was a full page. Roger Como took this and saved it, and Margie must have looked at you and said, "What are you doing bringing that home? Don't you have enough?" He's had to hear everybody telling him that there's too much. There's not. This is an amazing collection, Raj, and this is from that same hockey card promotion from the year 2000 from McDonald's. Right on. And who were some of those hockey cards in 2000? Well, Vincent Domfus was playing for the Habs. Curtis Joseph was with the Oilers. I see Trevor Linden with the Canucks. Shanahan's in there with the Red Wings. We got Joe Thornton as a Boston Bruin, folks. And we got Felix Potvin as a Toronto Maple Leaf. There he is, folks. Joe Thornton in a Boston Bruins uniform. We all know that most of his points were scored with the San Jose Sharks. I like Jumbo Joe.
Well, in 2000, this was happening.
Okay, and it's still happening. 24 years later, this woman does not slow down. Who is it? Sales climb for our beloved Canadian artist. Sales of Come On Over hit 17 million, most ever for a country album. We're talking about the absolutely gorgeous and uber focused and talented Shania Twain, looking great in 2000, and she's looking great in 2024, folks, from Timmins, Ontario.
This is a big victory for Moncton junior team.
Oh, right on.
Maritime Championship.
Oh yeah, Beauchemin played there. Okay, so the Maritime Champs were the Moncton Wildcats in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and they had a great run in the year 2000. And that guy right there, Beauchemin, he played for, I think it was Anaheim was his big team. Moncton Wildcats netminder Simon Lajeunesse celebrates Moncton's 3-2 victoire over the Halifax Mooseheads with teammates Francois Beauchemin and Jonathan Girard. The victory gave the franchise its first ever Maritime Division title. Well, right on, Raj.
Yeah.
Both of those teams are still alive and kicking today. And on the back page of that, just as a quick snippet, in the year 2000, this was, anyhow, I don't know what the date is, but I will just read one thing. On that night, the Red Wings played the Avalanche, and the first goal was scored by Sergei Fedorov. It was his 22nd of the year, and it was assisted by Kozlov and Lidstrom. And that article I just saw was written by Neil Hodge, and I worked at the Times and Transcript for about 6 months in Moncton one year after my broadcast journalism diploma, and I sat beside Neil Hodge and had many chats with him. He's a great guy.
Changing of the guards.
Changing of the guards, a new man. This is from December 29th, 2000. A new man at the helm. Campbell taken over Chief's position as Cronkite retires. Incoming Chief Earl Campbell with outgoing Chief Ron Cronkite. There it is, folks. Congratulations, Earl. Lots of responsibility was put on your shoulders on that day, of course. And there's a picture of the retiree, Ron Cronkite, preparing to adopt a more casual mode, folks, it says. So right on. And then if you guys remember a couple of episodes ago, or maybe it was last episode, we showed a car chase. This is the gentleman that was in that, and he was safe, actually. The car was totaled, though.
Well, this is quite a big tea party here. So you just check out the
Oh,
first
look at that.
paragraph, and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
can read off some names. There.
Oh, right on. Wow.
Recognize?
Is this... These are people dressed up, or is it...
Oh yeah, they're just dressed up for the occasion. 2000,
Okay.
2000, right?
Okay, so this is in the year 2000.
Place called Stony Ridge.
Stony Ridge, okay. Reliving enchantment of a bygone era Victorian garden tea party, an authentic balance between niceties and sobriety, it says. On Sunday, June 4th, 2000, Stony Ridge, a summer resort owned by Ray and Joan Cripps, became the setting for the Victorian Garden Tea Party. Group picture of everyone at the tea party. Really, really cool, folks. Look at this. Interesting stuff. And yeah, this looked like it would have been a really, really fun time.
Yeah.
And we got a picture, I saw a picture of some I know these youngins right here. We're going to read those names out right now. And those are Kara and Sherry Stymist, folks. Kara and Sherry were at the tea party in the year 2000. Really cool. Stony Ridge, eh? Okay. Attention, ladies. Her Majesty enters. Okay, 1 second. Quick little pause, and we'll be back in a
Not
sec.
in there anymore.
Oh, no? Where'd they move to?
Across the river.
Okay, we're back. And my God, Roger and I, we went upstairs. We had a stretch. We went out into the yard. We took a walk around the block. We stretched. We said hello to all the neighbors. Looked at the river. It's all open. Okay, celebrate our grand opening, the Miramichi Leaders' new building, folks. It was located in... Where was it located? This building.
I think it was over at the base there.
Oh, yeah. Out near the old CFB Chatham area. Yeah, out at CFB. And it said, so they just opened the new building. This was 2000. And at that time, Roger just showed me. There, look at the list of employees, local newspaper that have done such a great job over the years. And it takes an excellent staff to make things happen, and we will pay our due diligence right now, because this is what these are the people that have allowed us to have our little fun here on YouTube. Harold Adams, James Anderson, Lionel Obey, Leonard Obey, Claude Basque, or Claude, Noella Blackear, George Brunet, David Cadogan, Joanne Cadogan, Michelle Cadogan, Isabel Carroll, Karen Carroll, Logie Viller, Alan Carter, Ronald Shute, Karen Donovan, Valerie Doucette, Christine Doyle, Darren Gallant, Anne Godin, Paula Hare, Ella Marie King, William McIntosh, Mary Laura McLean, Richard McLean, I think he took, I remember his articles.
Rick, yeah.
Sheila McNaughton, Sean Malley, Paul Malm, Ann Maloney, Joan McAvoy, Leonard McClanagan, Micro Mike is a cat, Marion Morby, Ralph Mullen, John O'Neill, Catherine Preston, Ann Richardson, Jeffrey Russell, Natalie Savoy, Gail Savoy, Mary Savoy, Deborah Young, Christopher Turnbull, Pam Thompson, Belinda Tebow, Darlene Taylor, Carla Sutherland, Laurie Stewart, and Roger Savoy. Thank you, folks. Excellent staff, excellent work over the years. And that was now, I think the building, Raj just said they're over in Newcastle now somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we got a real nice story here. Lost twins unite.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is from, by the way, the Miramichi weekend was $1 plus HST in the year 2000. And this is from Friday, December 22nd, so just before Christmas.
We got some color.
Yeah, color. Just before Christmas, we had a wonderful, wonderful article. It says, Lost Twins Unite. And who are these people, and what is this story that has local roots? Gina Skid discovers she's a twin, meets identical sister. And that was written by Garrett Bosma, who is now a teacher in Nelson. Miramichi, back in July, Gina Skid froze with telephone in hand. She couldn't believe what she was being told by the voice on the other end. She was a twin. I was shocked, Gina said with a big smile. Finding out I had another sister was one thing. The fact she was my twin was something else. I was so excited. I have a twin, I kept saying to myself. Gina was adopted from a St. John orphanage more than 50 years ago. And what the 54-year-old didn't, sorry to disclose your age there, Gina, didn't know until this year was an identical small bundle of joy had been curled up next to her in the Catholic orphanage. The other little orphan was her twin sister. We were only 2 months old when Barbara, her twin, was adopted, but the couple only wanted one child. My parents adopted me 2 weeks later, but the sisters at the orphanage didn't tell them I was a twin. That wouldn't happen in this day and age. Wow. And there is a middle twins reunited, each in their identical wedding dresses. So what a wonderful, wonderful story that is, folks. And there they are right there, reunited after all those years. And Gina, was she with the figure skating? Because we said something the other day, and I'm sorry about that. I can't remember, but I think it was something with figure skating. Don't quote me on that. Okay, Roger Como is pulling out some stuff right now, and everybody that knows hockey, this guy right here, let Super Mario's comeback begin in the year 2000. Mario Lemieux, he retired after, back illness. He had Hodgkin's disease. He always had these injuries. He was so amazing, so talented. But Mario, I remember this night, Mario returns in style against the Leafs. He was, Mario, let's be honest. If you take a healthy Mario Lemieux, a healthy Wayne Gretzky, and there's a lot of people that are taking Mario. He was unbelievable. Lemieux scores once and sets up two others as Penguins blank the Maple Leafs 5-0 on his return. So right on, Mario Lemieux. He was actually my dad's #1 pick. And Roger's son Josh was a big Mario Lemieux fan. Yeah. In the year 2000, at Mario Lemieux's return, the Ottawa Senators were in first place. And in the Western Conference, the St. Louis Blues were in first place. So there you have it, folks.
These are people that were...
Okay.
Yeah, Vicky, something from Bathurst.
Okay.
3 years, was she there?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I just underlined the local.
Okay, this is from the Miramichi Leader, December 12th, and you see how we're doing it here. We're just being natural. We're just reading these along with you guys. Gibson names 22 area students to UNB Nursing Dean's List. Sorry for the glare. Some of these glare, eh? Oh, sorry about that, guys. Dean's List. Roger was just doing some underlining here. And on that Dean's list, 22 Northumberland County area students are among those names to the University of New Brunswick Dean's list by the Dean of Nursing, Cheryl Gibson. And who are they? Tara Bennett of Barnaby. Fredericton, year 2. I think Tara's married to her neighbor Michael Rishore.
Oh,
Yeah. We also have Stephanie Hambrook of Derby. Tara Matheson of Douglastown. She was year 4. And from the Miramichi, Amanda Baker. She was in her 3rd year. And Vicky Como, who happens to be my sister. Her birthday's tomorrow. She was in her 3rd year. Her and Amanda went through their nursing together, and they traveled together. And I haven't seen Amanda in a long time. I wonder how she's making out. Sarah Mott was in her 1st year. Jane Trevors, didn't say what year. And then from Napan, Jason Daigle. He was in Moncton. He was in year 2. And Melanie Dixon, her 1st year. And then Allison McGraw of Newcastle. And she was in her 4th year. Michelle Matchett of Sunny Corner was in year 4. So right on, congratulations. I wonder how many of those fine people are still in the profession to this day, a profession that everybody recognizes as uber important to a healthy society.
Here's some locals again.
Oh, right on. Live mannequins back in store window December 16th. That's when you know you made it, folks, when you get to pose as a live mannequin in a store window. Who are these people? This is from the Miramichi Leader, December 15th, 2000. Amy Doucette, is that Gerard's daughter?
Yeah.
Logie Viller, Gerard Doucette, and Amanda Godfrey. Is that Eric and
Yeah.
Heather's daughter? So a couple Santa face painting right on. There they are, folks. Live mannequins. What store were they in? They were featured in the window at the Squirrel's Nest Saturday night. The troupe of enthusiastic youth from Lloyd Cameron's theater art class at James M. Hill were excited to take part in the historic Water Street Christmas promotion, Miracle on Water Street. Once again, the late great Lloyd Cameron doing really interesting things with the theater arts. The students loved him. He's actually a legendary teacher, a legendary in the world of theater arts. Right on. Okay.
Yeah, we should mention this resort up in Chelmsford.
Okay. Resort brings up to 2,000 Europeans to area each year. Main lodge viewed from the grounds. Ladies and gentlemen, this is in Chelmsford. Right on. What is this all about? What is going on? Does it have anything to do with our salmon? Or let's find out. I just took a drive up to Chelmsford a couple of weeks ago to get a starter for a sourdough, for some sourdough bread, which my mother has been experimenting with and really making some nice loaves. So if anybody's looking for a good loaf of sourdough bread, it will cost you $8.50 from Karen Cumo's Kitchen, and that's expected to be $10 with a tip. It takes a lot of time. Frank's Holiday Resort in Chelmsford could house as many as 2,000 guests over the course of a year. That's the word from General Manager Rainer Breck. The owner of the resort is Frank Werner. He lives in Germany but visits here from time to time. Eventually he would like to retire here. What does the resort do? It's overlooking the Miramichi River. I think there's, at that part of the river, I think they do some canoeing, but what am I thinking? You know, oh my God, the float down in those life, what are they called again?
Tubing?
Tubing. Yeah, I think they do some tubing. Right on. Tours mix urban and rural sightseeing, and right on, really cool. They got some rustic food going on. It's close to Red Bank, Kishamaquack, Fundy. People get to live right in the nature, and
well, we do a little bit of talking about Terry Walsh there.
okay.
Maybe a little paragraph.
Okay, and Walsh met Trudeau in Montreal in July. Terry Walsh Elaine Donaghy and Pierre Trudeau. Am I saying that right? Donaghy?
Yeah.
Yeah. They met Pierre, and
Donaghy.
Pierre died shortly thereafter, folks. And like him or hate him, what you got to say about Pierre Trudeau is that he was a maverick kind of guy, and he was actually the Trudeau that actually had his own vision and thoughts. And you know, you can read between the lines on what I'm saying there. Miramichiers Elaine Donaghy and Terry Walsh had an opportunity to meet and be photographed with former Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau this summer. He died on September 28th and was buried following a state funeral. I had a friend that went to his funeral and covered it actually for the local student radio station that I was a part of in Belleville, Ontario, back in that. Yeah, it was at that time.
That's some local Keith Daly's daughter.
Oh, right on. Sarah Daly with snowman soup. Okay, craft sale generates most of Beta Sigma's funds. So right on, there's some locals right there. Nice blue writing up there. This is from the Miramichi Leader. Craft sale, some beautiful stuff I'm sure was manufactured for that. The Beta Sigma Phi hosted a craft sale and tea last weekend at the Douglastown Community Hall. Early Christmas shoppers took advantage of the many Christmas gift ideas on hand to buy. The craft sale and tea is the largest fundraiser that the Beta Sigma Phi hosts. Proceeds from the event goes back to the community and local charities. The Beta Sigma Phi would like to thank everyone for attending the craft sale. Tina Betts with Large Crochet Angel from Just Another Idea Crafts, and Sarah Daly with Snowman Soup. You sure that's Keith's daughter?
Yeah,
Sarah Dare?
Sarah, yeah.
Okay. Keith Daly's daughter. I don't know, but
Brenda.
Keith and Brenda. They dropped some food, or Brenda dropped some food off when my father passed away to my mother. So thank you for that. Yeah, right on, Raj. So we're getting on to, we're coming up to our 1 hour. Oh, look at there, folks.
We always know him as Tracy, but
Yep.
he goes by Wayne.
Yeah. Okay, so this is really cool. I'm going to point my finger that way, which is east. If you get in your car and drive that way for 2 minutes and 33 seconds, no, maybe 3 minutes and 33 seconds, you're going to run into this man's childhood home. He is the brother of Roger's late wife, Margie's sister, and my mother's sister, Dana. And so this is Wayne Mott. He was formerly known as Tracy, but goes by Wayne right now. He was a snowbird pilot, and maybe still is. I could be wrong about that. Local man to perform at Sunday's Grey Cup. He graduated at James M. Hill. And yeah, like really, really amazing. So it's just another example of Miramichiers out there doing some amazing things. We had a snowbird pilot, and we all, you know, he was a Logieviller. So I don't know when he left and stuff like that. I never got to know him. He was gone before he decided to join the Air Force in 1985. So I was just 9 years old when that happened. So right on. That's a really cool thing. The snowbirds, Raj. And there he is right here on the back page of that. Look at this. How proud you would be being a pilot in one of those. You got to be one of the top pilots to be able to participate in the snowbirds and be a member of that. It is highfalutin stuff. These are the top dogs. And Wayne Mott, right on. Really cool. His childhood home, it's a 9-iron from Family Land Campground. And if you're Tiger Woods, it's a putter.
It's a highlight for
Okay. The T-Wolves star, Warren Toole, Patrick, and Jeff Lampke. The T-Wolves Double Bulldogs. Okay.
Year 2000.
This is in the year 2000, and in the year 2024, Raj, they have a playoff game tomorrow night. So I'm pressuring Raj into getting tickets. So he should be able to get some free tickets because he's the local historian. Everybody should be trying to get him at the events now. This is so there's a local guy right here that we all know, and Roger's son Josh played with him. I actually saw him at the old Savious's the other night in the meat department, picking up some steaks for the family. T-Wolves stars Warren Toole, Patrick Provencal. That looks like he's like a Czech. It looks like Czech name, and Jeff Lampke. It was the Miramichi Timberwolves took a bite out of the Bulldogs in Miramichi Saturday as they doubled the league-leading Antigonish team 6-3. And Jeff Lampke scored 2 goals that night. So right on, right on, right on. And the old T-Wolves, yeah. That's a great picture of Jeff Lampke right there, folks. Great. He comes from a great family.
Okay.
Oh, right on. This is like we already mentioned this man before. He is arguably the greatest hitter that has ever lived, but he liked fishing just as much. It says ailing baseball legend recalls fishing with the late Curtis. And there he is right there, folks. That's Ted Williams, and he is standing there with Roy Curtis and Carl Hoyt with a salmon at the Ted Williams pool in the late 80s. Curtis is holding that. That's Curtis in the middle. Look how tall Ted was. He was tall, handsome. He also missed 4.5 years of his prime, as he not only served in the Korean War and maybe World War II, but mostly Korea. You know, they used to give cushy jobs to those athletes. Mm-hmm. Not Ted Williams. This man was a fighter pilot. He had a full life. There was some controversy that surrounded him. You know, he would never tip his hat to the fans in Boston. He's a Boston Red Sox legend. If you look at his stats and you compare them with his peers at the time, there's an argument that could be made that this man right here, Mr. Ted Williams, is the greatest hitter that has ever lived in the sport of baseball. And Wednesday, this is the Miramichi Leader. Wednesday, men's bowling, November 10th. Here's what happened, folks. Who were the top 10 averages at this time? Claude Farron, Jim Arsenault, Don Beliveau, Alton Allison, Terry McPhee, Freddie O'Brien. Now I really know why I hit one of my first home runs off him. Not only was he a dart player, he was a bowler, right down the gut. Darren Harding, Paul Gallant, Paul Savoy, and Rick Bryanton, right on. And I don't see any from the ladies division here. Yes, I do. Lois Augustine, Rita Martin, Lois Wilson, Carolyn Matthews, Anna Mullen. And right on, bowling would be another great thing to participate in. Roger Cummo takes a bowling game in I think it's Wednesday nights. I know his schedule now. I know what this man does on Wednesday nights. He goes over to the lanes and watches some bowling. Oh, here's a story here that's close to this man and our family.
Popular in the Miramichi.
Popular in the Miramichi, and he was a honorary chief at Red Bank. Yeah. He has the full headdress. Miramichi mourns Father Brian. His 2 funerals planned to mark passing of popular priest. He was kind of a trailblazer. He, he came to the Logieville Parish in the 90s, I'm guessing, and his name was Father Roger Bryan. He was 85. He died in the Miramichi Region 7 Hospital on Sunday. Father Roger served at various parishes in the area for more than 20 years. He never would retire. He carved a living from 2 things he loves most, teaching and preaching. He could have retired 17 years. There's the phone. He was kind of a special guy. Like he brought a community feel and changed the whole. He changed the whole vibe of the parish when I was a kid, you know. And there's a whole There he is. He used to drive around on a scooter right in front of this house right there. And there he is with his headdress on. He was an honorary chief. He was a really, really fine gentleman. And he was a friend of my grandfather, Roger's father, Romeo. So, Rog, the phone just rang. I'll pause this right now. Oh, he's coming back. He knows how to get rid of people, like I'm telling you. All he has to do is pretend that there's no reception. And so, Rog, I think that she's going to be high time here to, you know, another 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice colorful.
Oh, look at that.
Nice
Beautiful.
colorful pole of different
Yeah, right on.
schools, I think.
Okay, we got the
Valley,
Tommies and the MBA.
That's,
Heather McLean.
That's
Okay.
Lily and Sauter back there. Murdoch.
Murdoch?
Yeah,
Robert,
so it was
Cameron, and Melissa Honor. It's okay. We can't remember everybody's name. Okay, so this is a great...
They gave some names here. I think
Okay.
the boys in the middle. I
Okay,
believe.
so this is from November 21st, 2000. Hollering for Hoops. This is a basketball promotional page, all in color. Look at these young, healthy people. This is before smartphones and TikTok and Instagram and all these things. Not one of them is thinking about looking down at their phone right now because the things did not exist. It's the MVHS team and the James M. Hill squad. Looks like a guys squad and the girls for the MVHS. And it's a great looking page. And it's the, okay. Center photo of the boys team. They don't have the girls written, but we can David Savoy, Greg Hayward, Jared Morin, David McClanagan, Eric Mullen, Philip Bremner, Jason Reynolds, Justin Fogarty, Jason McCarthy, Eric O'Brien, Brandon Doyle, Jamie Martins, Sean Hanna, David McLean, and Andrew Redmond. Sorry, there's no roster there for the, and that's a picture of Heather McLean of James M. Hill in the foreground, and the guys I just mentioned, their roster was written there. So that's a really excellent looking thing, Raj.
Yeah, it's a nice coverage.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's one of the, I think this is the head of the Miramichi Fiddlers,
Oh, right on.
Norman Young.
Okay. Young honored by New Brunswick's Old Time Fiddle Orchestra. So one of the Miramichi Fiddlers is being honored right there in that photo. I will read out the New Brunswick Old Time Fiddle Orchestra Leadership Award was presented to Norman Young of Upper Derby by Bishop Faber MacDonald. Young is the lead fiddler and program director of the Miramichi Fiddlers. Really, really cool. I want to go into the Miramichi Fiddlers, Raj, and get a couple of, I want to get a video of them practicing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
That'd be real neat, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know where they practice?
No, you'll have to call Mary Jane.
I'm gonna call somebody up. And hopefully they'll let me do it. I'm sure they will. And you know what? Before we say goodbye, we have another spot out for our other sponsor. We showed our other sponsor, Amanda, Rogers' daughter, yesterday. Well, this is our other sponsor, folks. This is from Corey Wishworks at the Core Store. This right here is an urn that Corey made out of maple, and this is actually
Heavy.
It's very heavy, and this is the urn that Corey manufactured for the passing of my father. Actually, I asked if it would be okay to show it. I asked my mom, she said sure. And, you know, Corey does amazing work. We showed leather, we showed metal, we showed some certain woodworks. He can do almost anything. He sews, he does everything. So if you're looking for a special gift for somebody special in your life, why not contact a local craftsman like a guy like Corey Wishart at Wishworks, the Core Store. And he is easy to work with. He can take your design, he can design it with you. He can manifest it, and it will be beautiful and really excellent quality. And it's not going to be $2.99 at your local Walmart. It's coming from a local craftsman, And if you're wondering how to get in touch with Corey, you just plunk yourself on the Miramichi, roll the window down in your car. The first person you see walking by is probably going to be him. But if it's not, just ask if they know Corey. Somebody's going to know him. And he does amazing work. And how does he sponsor a show like this? He does it by being the best neighbor Roger Como could ever ask for, and the best brother-in-law a guy like me could ever ask for. So thank you, Corey, once again. And Raj, let's do a couple more, and it should be...
Okay, we'll get this here in, and this will be the end of her.
Oh, I saw, you know what? I had a grocery store trip up to the Savies the other day,
Yeah.
and I saw like 6 people, and haven't lived here in 20 years. And this young girl right here was one of those people.
Christine.
The Tommies take second. Look at this great photo right here. Young, healthy, happy team. There's nothing better than winning a team trophy. You do it together. It takes everybody involved, and it's very, it's just good vibes. So who was on this team? Oh, Tommies take second, sorry. James M. Hill girls won second place at the Hoops Classic over the weekend. Here with the runner-up trophy are back row Shiloh Connolly, Lynette Manderson, Tommy Cat, that was the Sherry Stymus, her sister's the coach of the high school team. Nikki Bordage, Ashley McKinley, we got Megan Truman, Jessica McPherson, Hannah Hamilton, Melanie Robertson, and Christine Bowes. I knew those Bowes girls growing up. Her sisters are Laura and Heather, and they're a great family. Their mother's Marcia, and Christine I saw at the grocery store the other day.
Well, let's keep this here in because Xena Martin lived on Main
Oh,
Street
yeah,
there.
yeah, she was sweet.
She moved away to Ontario or Quebec.
Okay. This is from November 28th, 2000. Local chapter leads New Brunswick to National Kidney Campaign Award. From left are Mary Hansen, Les Hall, and Xena Martin. This lady right here used to live in our neighborhood. She was quite a lovely woman. But when you have people that are putting their time and effort into raising money for something, you know, as vitally as important as an internal bodily organ, those are the real heroes of a society. And right on, they raised $44,000, and you know, our local Logieviller was part of that. So,
Okay, we can close it all down with a
yeah.
very nice, colorful front
Oh, right
page
on.
here of autumn.
Oh, right on, Raj. Look at that.
Little story there. Where
Beautiful.
Where they're at.
So, okay, we're going to close out part 1 of 2000, and I'm telling you, we haven't even scratched the surface. So Roger's kids must have been at a high school. So he had time on his hands, and he was collecting nothing was getting past this man. So this is from November 3rd, 2000, and this is a beautiful page in the Miramichi Leader that is showing the foliage. And I'm telling you, we not only had one of the best places to view the solar eclipse the other day, we're from one of the areas in the world, like along this east coast of North America here, the northeast coast, that has the best foliage that you know, people from all over the world come to look at it. And flaming bushes off Strawberry Marsh, a quiet spot in Murray Settlement, gulls gather off Ritchie Wharf, Miramichi east from the Centennial Bridge, and Rod in from the Centennial Bridge. So look at that beautiful shot of Chatham, Miramichi east they called it. Let's just call it Chatham. Why do we have to go? Let's just do it. Let's just call them by the boroughs. If you're in New York City, it's Queens and Brooklyn and the Bronx, and you're in Miramichi, it's Chatham, Newcastle, Nelson, Logieville. Nobody even knows east, west, and all that. But there's the Rod down there. Beautiful photos, Raj. Well, Raj, we're scooting right along.
You know her, right?
Yeah, Glenda. We can do one more.
Oh.
Oh, we can do that.
Oh no, we're.
Okay, we close right
Our
there.
closing there.
Well, Raj, we're scooting right along. Here's the good news, Raj. The good news is that you have one of those trays pulled out. Do you want to show that before we... we'll show it next time. You have one of those trays pulled out.
When it gets lighter.
When it gets lighter. And so we know what we're doing for the next 3 or 4 times here. And, you know, thanks again, Raj. Man, I'm just you know, talking like a, you know, like a lot here, and you're showing us, like, look at what you've collected. It deserves a lot of credit, and like, trust me, people are telling me that they're enjoying it. You know, it's not like we're not out here to get all these views, and we're never gonna say, give me this and like me or subscribe and all that stuff. That's not our style. We're doing this for ourselves, and it's an intergenerational project, and Roger has collected all this stuff, and we just figured this would be the best way to try to show it, right?
I'm getting lots of surprises myself.
Oh yeah, like, it must be a great experience for you to go through and look at all this stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, because if you don't do it, guess what? You don't do it. So that's the bottom line, right?
We might have to do an episode around 2 a.m.
Yeah, we should do. We're gonna have to do a late. You know what? One of these nights, we're gonna have to get over here, Raj. I want to have a clear glass filled up with ice, and I want to be you know, tipping that back soon. So we'll have to do a night episode here soon. So okay, that's it. I'm gonna go over tomorrow, I think, and hopefully meet up with a local artist and show some of her work. And then we have to get in touch with Loganville's greatest artist, Matilda Murdoch, her children, and see if they're interested in doing kind of an episode about her. And then we have maybe around playoff time, when the playoffs start, we might have like a playoff special, Mirami-histor-chi style. So those are the only teasers that we're going to give. Okay. Have a good day, folks.
Hey, till next time.